Alright everybody, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today is June 14th, 2021. Well, hopefully we're near the end of the pandemic, so that's where we're all just hoping that it would end really soon. So, the more, it's all about the vaccination. Most vaccination, they come out within 10 years, 5 years, so on, without history. But then now the trust for current vaccination, it's very tough to build that trust where you would imagine that a computer system could create some sort of a vaccination or vaccine for any type of protein or virus that might reduce the infection or even the spread of that virus. Just makes it like a dead virus and so on. It's very hard to understand that it makes sense where there's an unbalance and of that trust and so on. So we're going to talk about what's going on for this week. Here we go. Now the reason why we're going to talk about within like the last 30 days and keep going on every day for every week for the last 30 days is because data is being delayed. So at the beginning of this video, I might be talking about the newest recent public thing right now. However, within 30 days, whatever happened today or the last week might be posted within 30 days. I noticed that, and when data is hidden or misguided or just it's like a scam, it's like advertising for something ends up being a scam. It's not cool to get that false advertisement or even that insufficient data. That's what we call it. When you have insufficient information, you can predict that place can be amazing with 2 photos until you experience it yourself in the last 10 years, and then just figure out that something is wrong and needs to be looked into thoroughly and so on. All right, June 14th, here we go. So basically there was back in actually, let's start off by May 27, which is last week, which is our amazing and newly elected mayor. Basically shared her proclamation recognizing and drowning prevention awareness and for the Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, extension of local emergency and extended of the temporary outdoor dining, which is pretty cool because that will actually help out a lot of businesses. As I noticed, especially me having my own office, my own business in the city of Tustin, where to have 2 customers a day is like a blessing. It's like, yeah, it becomes like, wow, like I'm so glad I got 2 customers. But then I just thought that, you could tell that something is wrong because 2 customers a day, it could be many things. Lack of data and information, which is cross-referencing people from people to service needs to everyday usage. And also it could be underrepresented small businesses. For example, small businesses that have been around for a long time, over 10 years, they probably have that old rent, might still look like they're still there and it's busy, but then at the same time when you look thoroughly into it, it's like, I think they're still on the contract rent of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, which is literally 10% of what was 20% estimated of what the cost of rent is today. So that's pretty cool to actually help out businesses. This is something that maybe the last elected official didn't think that business needed an income. He probably said like, hey, why do they need an income for? So that's very shocking that I'm just trying to look into, like, something is weird going on and it has to be looked into, thoroughly unwrapped, because something is weird going on. It could be one of the reasons how it affected everything else down that line, which is starting from businesses to public service members, all the way down to the budget and so on. It's weird. Alright, so let's talk about the next thing that's going on. And basically there was a Good Samaritan that helped it's a restaurant in Tustin, helped give out almost loads of pancakes early morning, which is heads up for breakfast to moms for Sunday. That happened around May 9th. Now, the reason why I'm bringing out some old news is to talk about just the thing that's been happening within the city. So that's what happened there. That was really amazing, and that was done for Mother's Day, which is really cool. I'm not sure if they did that for Father's Day. Whoa! So people breaking the law by cutting lanes. I can't really say much about that. Just continue your life and look straight and go on. Alright, so we're going to talk about some other things that's been happening. Data that was delayed last month is now showing slowly this month, so that's pretty cool right there. So we're going to start from May 4th. May 4th, in our apartment right off the Heritage Way, there was some theft that's been happening there, and I think something out of a car, it looks like here. According to a few public records showing that something theft that was stolen, that's about $400 from a vehicle. Another thing that happened around May 5th is this. From a house was a false pretenses. I don't know what's going on there. You can Google that. That happened on Robinson. Of course, the same city we're talking about, and so on. So I'm just trying to be very kind. Please let me in. And going in slow motion. There we go. Let's continue on. Here we go. Reason why I'm not looking at the camera more than like a half a second or even any second, because yeah, I like to do this while heading for any job that's available around the OC. Alright, let's start by another thing that's been happening right here is, alright, everybody give me some space. 2 card length, surrounded every area. Cool. Alright, so basically there's another threat by fear. Oh my god. So there's a threat by fear that happened on May 7th. And basically that was near a hospital. I don't know what's going on there. Basically, it looks like somebody threatened something at a hospital. And that happened off Newport Ave. I think that's right off that hospital right there, I'm guessing. That's what happened there with some threats. So basically when threats happen like this because something happened and they just like got a bit aggressive. But understanding as humans, we need to know how to control that type of aggression. Take 2 steps back and then discuss and then solve solution, and everybody's happy. That's the only way things like that would work. Nobody want to let me in? That's okay. Alright, so oh my god, so another thing that happened on May 7th is a possession of I don't like to say the word, it's not really cool. I don't really like it to say this word, but it's a white substance. It's very popular in certain regions. That's been flowing all the way through California, and that was also near Newport Ave. I feel like those are connected with the threat and with the no, it happened like 2 hours right after. Oh no, yeah, 2 hours right after that same person could have got caught in that same street. Something happened. That's weird. Newport Ave is a bit active, as you can see on one of our videos on YouTube, where Newport Ave has a very active area, and when you start stacking residents very close to each other, it needs to be managed like, for example, like New York instead of like a suburb. The reason for that is that compressed and on top is different excuse me, a different service than the ones that extended with land. So for example, if there's a homeowner that owns certain square footage, you're talking about 10 homes within a block compared to an apartment with the same size block, which is times 20 of the residents, which needs a certain amount of coverage, literally consistent coverage, that's where the certain things are not being allocated properly in those hot areas. It makes sense because the parking, people, visitors, you have to think of the income. You have to think of the income, like how many people are actually paying full rent, how many are paying half rent, and then half rent, how much are, I mean, that's the income of the maximum that they're gonna make. So think about the decisions that they'll be making throughout their life. So it's not called discrimination. It's just that certain areas need to be observed more because there's more people, which is it's more dense. So that could be my opinion. Another thing that happened is a vehicle vandalized $400. It looks like somebody broke a 8th or something. I'm just guessing it happened on May 8th. Jeez, near an apartment off Williams. There we go. Okay. Oh my God. So there was a DUI on the highway. Jeez. That's not really cool at all. That happened on Newport Ave. So that exit right there, Newport Ave. It's very hot. A lot of things happened there. Burglary happened also as well on May 8th. Said other on Tustin Village. I don't know what's going on there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's talk about more that's happened on. We're gonna go back a little bit more. Back in. No, we're not gonna talk about this. Second, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're fine. We're gonna move down the line. So that's basically how far back we're gonna go. June is delayed a lot. That's why I started through the 31st. June is delayed, so we'll just give that some time. But at least we know what happened in May. The saddest part is that it is a real problem when any type of crime or activity happens, and to wait and let it happen is just letting it's not bringing the solution. It's cycling like a pump to keep everything busy and going, and to hire more and more and more and more, and diverse, not sufficient diverse based on, I mean, if you think about it, we're not 3-4 diverse anymore. We're literally like 20 different diverse. Is all 20 allocated? Doubt it. Maybe 4 out of 20, which is a good start within the last 50 years, or 70 years, 60 years, and so on. So, that's what is it that will help to reduce the amount of crime, to increase the amount of cash flow, to increase the awareness, and like how it was a long time ago where people left their doors open. It's like it's a guarantee that nothing will happen. It's because you know your neighbors' 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 neighbors, and then you know the amount of coverage. It's like an HOA fee, where you pay HOA fee, you're paying for that gate, city tax, property tax that pays for public service, which is houses instead of renters. So that's where the most focus is being on, which is sad, where you keep the homeowners happy, but the renters just ask them questions like, why do you need to make an income? And what is the flow for? And what is the news for? It's just strange. It's just strange. So that's why it needs to be looked into more and more and more. Like, is that what affected other places, other even businesses? That's what affected new businesses. Is that what kept old businesses around? Is what helped the super rich within that city limits? Which one that's worth value more? Is it the homeowners versus renters versus real estate owners? And also, all that just needs to be thoroughly looked into, because that doesn't exist in other surrounding cities. And it could be because I don't care about public trust, because nothing's being exposed or shown anyways. It doesn't really matter. And it's possible that they have other, you could say our competitors, to our news competitors might talk about certain information, just like in court or whatever. It's like you could swing any information. The tree fell. So when the tree fell on the car. Tree fell on the side. The tree collapsed. The tree's going down. It's like the way you say it is the way where it will define the purpose of that fallen object. And 3-4 people, you put all 4 people on the same subject, all 4 might come back different ways of saying it, and they all might have their own way of, like you say, different way of presenting that information. So having information that it's all over the place, but to have it in one place, that is our goal, is to have it all in one place, one website and one app. And it's not a bad thing. It happens with every other news company, and it's going to be the same with us, but we are focused on one beautiful, amazing, lovely city of Tustin. I can already see a lot of improvements. Our new mayor is amazing, and she's doing great. Well, every day I see it, it's more progress, and I really hope that she might figure out what happened with what happened before. But it really depends on how deep, which I know people have been there over 15 years, so that it depends how deep she's allowed to do. So that's why everybody should be patient and let her work it in, and then hopefully it will fix Tustin. I'll do it for free myself. Seriously, I will do it for free, just to reduce the crime, increase the flow, and increase opportunities, and for sure equality within every single sector, private and public. Trust me, then we will shine. We will shine, and we can start having a little bit of buildings as big as Irvine, and we could be right behind Irvine and still have that nice flow, and reduce the crime and unravel the high dense population properly, like basically give them opportunities. The high dense population is a problem for a city that's not creating enough programs for those people to get out of apartments, especially businesses, especially banks. They're not allowing them to get out. Like, for example, one public official might ask you, hey, what is that income for? That's where you're like, you look at your family, you look at your children, you look at your parents, you look at your grandparents, and you look at that public official that's asking, why do you need the income for? And then you look at your taxes and you look at your rent, and you're like, that's the sad part. Is why would they ask? It's like they don't want, maybe they don't want people to have a family. Is that what it is? They don't want people to have a family or kids. It's weird. I've never had any public official to ask something like this way. That it needs to be double, triple checked for sure. Everybody should have the opportunity, no matter what. Everybody. And more doors should open. So basically, like, how many people did we get out of apartments? Yeah, the real estate, high tax corporations might get a bit upset, but they shouldn't, because we have a lot of people coming into Cali anyways. The ones that are coming in for new opportunities, that might take them 5-10 years. Or we have people that are renting for 5-10 years, should already be stepping out to that next step, which is owning a home. Maybe people might face bills, debts. Yeah, they get messed up by the credit company for 7 years. We understand that. All that should be fixed within the city, within the county, within the state. That's where you create opportunity, more opportunity, that people should upgrade faster than they're studying, faster than they're steady. And homeowners and middle class should not worry about that, because they're gonna bump up anyways, and it's the lower class that's getting up to the next class, and then there's new people that want to come in and become a class, and just become any class, which is a cool pump that creates everything very equally. It's a cool pump. It's not a pump that let bad things happen and stop it the next day, let the bad things happen and stop it the next day. It doesn't work. Like right now, I saw on the news, on many of the broadcasts now, they're talking about how the police departments in Orange County is engraving the license plates on the Cadillac Converter, which is really cool, because if something like that is found, any evidence, any area, they could start pinpointing the dots and finding everybody, finding the dealer, finding the thief, finding where the hot spots and so on, which is really cool. I like that idea. I almost saw it as a publicity stunt, but not really, because It's all about the good idea. And I did mention this idea a few weeks ago. Like, why don't they put something on the license plate to keep it small, traceable, trackable? And it's a good start what they did today. That's very amazing, and I hope TPT is doing the same thing right now. Let's get on it. Should be free of service and start engraving cars. I think there's a population of I forgot, I should have checked. I think it's 500,000 or 250,000 within our amazing city here. And so that is what it is. That's the news that we're going to talk about for today. We do have other news that's going to be populated, written. I don't have any writers. When I hire a writer, they want some income, and now since our last post for our amazing public former official talked about what's the income for, now we got writers, and people are potentially applying for the job are scared, thinking that there's going to be no income. So now I have to hire interns to start slow, then start the flow slow, which it needs a minimum of 10,000 views per day. That's just to make, I think, $10 a day or $100 a day, which that won't even pay one. That barely pays one or two people. Two people at below the minimum wage. It's very sad. And we don't believe in that, because we're not here to put people in poverty. We're here to upgrade people slowly. And other than that, other than the writers, and then we got the reporters. We need people all around the city to literally start building your credentials, start building your reputation, and this is a good place to start here for free. Small, I don't care about your information. Don't let someone try to swing the wrong information. Like, oh, he just wants your information, and I don't care about that. I don't want your name. All I want is the report, and you can give me your tag name, your code, your whatever, your initial, whatever, just to label it on the report. If you want anonymous, I can do that too. That's cool. This is like give a chance to build some sort of something, and to start here is really somewhere. Preferably people in Tustin, because that's our news about Tus-News in Tustin. So that's writers, reporters, and sorry, they are going to be both internship. I understand. I'm sorry. News aggressors that basically understands the laws of online publications, where you can use other news, but with the referencing, with publication, with the right things. There's a lot that's coming in, hundreds per hour, so it's very hard to keep track of everything, so we try our best. One person now doing it alone, it's very tough. I'm just doing it a little bit now because I'm just waiting for school to start back. So, alright, let's continue on to the next thing. So other than that, yeah, go ahead and download the app. Thank you so much for your contribution. Apple does take a certain percentage, so don't let information misguide you as well. I also liked how our district attorney is doing a really amazing job in Orange County. I'm so impressed with that dude. It's really amazing, and to always have him on our side, on everybody's side, it's just very amazing. Very grateful, and doing an amazing job. Other than that, just Tustin needs a lot of bit of work, and hopefully it will shine. Together we can shine it together. Together we can shine it forever. And go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody. I am very tired because I literally only get 5 hours of sleep, because I do program a lot for a living, and it really becomes a lot of headache. It becomes very stressful. So we take it easy, and we just try our best to get out of this poverty life. It's taken me 15 years, longer than usual, but what can we do? We take it easy, and we help people around us, and then slowly, I think it would help ourselves later on by itself, you know. I just hope we don't have haters that come around and try to misguide certain information. It's not cool. So I tripped out on yesterday's question, and why do you want the income for that? I'm going to focus on that for a whole month, just to figure out what's going on slowly and legally and properly, just to see what's up. Alright, if everybody have any questions, go ahead and send your comments below. Anything that's been spamming, please do not hack us. We don't have any money. I don't have any logins. I don't have any information. I don't have any data, so please stop hacking us. All you did is shut us down and then makes me work for free again and fix it and do it all again and so on. So please don't do that. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our website to help us out, to increase our awareness, to increase certain jobs opportunity and so on. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.